is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
Good morning, everyone. We are back live today. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody in the that's watching the video, like the video if you don't mind. Liking the video helps a lot.
Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are back live. It's Monday morning, June 21st, 2021. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We are back live this morning. We were off on Friday. Had a personal thing I had to take care of, which I'll mention a little later when more people are joining as the open of the show begins, so I don't get asked too many times. But my phone was blowing up on Friday morning. It's amazing how many people in this listening audience have my cell phone number. It's amazing to me. It's almost as if people are online sharing my cell phone number because my phone is blowing up anytime I take a day off. But we are back here live, and there is a lot to talk about. Oh my goodness, there is so much. We took off on Friday. So the Republican establishment and the fake news media, I guess they decided they could get away with all kinds of stuff because they pulled a bunch of things over the weekend that we are going to talk about. And I'll just give you, there's a lot of stories we're going to talk about today, but there's three big ones. One is a developing story involving Tucker Carlson, which I'm going to get into later in the program. And I'm going to ask some serious questions about this, what I'm calling a developing story with Tucker Carlson, when we get into that. This gay pride event in Wilton Manors here in South Florida, and the way that the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, we're going to talk about that early on here. And of course, the fake straw poll that showed Ron DeSantis beating out Trump in this straw poll. Those are the three big topics where the Republican establishment, the Democrats, and the fake news media were going full steam ahead with over the weekend. So there's a lot of other things to talk about too, but since we were not here on Friday, I'll keep the phones open phone-ish. I don't want to say that phones are completely open. It has to be relevant to what we're talking about, but we'll keep them open phones light. And also, we would have talked about this on Friday, but since we were not here live, we did not. Friday was the last Rush Limbaugh program on the radio, and I did hear some of it. And I've got some thoughts on that too, and your thoughts are welcome as well. 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm going to start, though, with what happened in Fort Lauderdale over the weekend, and then after the break, I'll get into the fake straw poll, because this one, what's going on with this straw poll showing DeSantis beating Trump is a very devious plot by the Republican establishment. And after the first break, I'm going to share that with you in detail. It's a very important show today that you will not want to miss a moment of. And Steve Kane, of course, will be joining us as usual in progress later on in the program. Okay, so Saturday, I was out doing things, very busy day on Saturday. I was up in Orlando, and I came home, and I got home, I don't know, around 5 or 6 in the afternoon. And then in the evening, my wife and I, we turn on the news, and we're flipping between cable news networks, which I do not normally do. I usually, if I got something on, it's either Newsmax or Fox News. And for some reason, I flipped over just to see what was going on MSNBC Saturday night. And they said more coming up on the breaking story out of Wilton Manors, Florida. And I thought, wow, what the hell happened? Because Wilton Manors, no one's even heard of Wilton Manors outside of South Florida, What is going on there? And then we find that I knew it involved gays because Wilton Manors is a city that is majority gay. It wasn't always that way. It was kind of like a run-down kind of city, Wilton Manors. And in the early 90s, gays started moving in, and they've really made Wilton Manors a nice city, nice town. But the story was that there was an attack on the gay parade, the gay pride parade, the gay Stonewall parade, whatever it's called. I guess this is Pride. Is this Pride Month? I guess it's Pride Month. And that a homophobe had ran his pickup truck through the parade, killing one and injuring others. And by the way, that's a tragedy. I mean, you know, there was a life lost, a couple of others injured, and I don't know how bad they were injured, but it's a tragedy. And then the mayor, immediately they cut to a clip. This was on MSNBC. They cut to a clip of the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, and here's what the mayor had to say.
What we witnessed was, as we were beginning to assemble the parade, I was walking with Congressman Ted Deutsch, and the parade had just begun. And we saw people lining up, ready to move, and all of a sudden this white pickup truck dashed right through the crowd, barely missing Congresswoman Don Wasserman-Schultz's car by inches, and just dashed, cut through, smashed through a gate, smashed into a landscaping company, and he hit two people on the ground.
What does this appear?
This was a terrorist attack against the LGBT community. This is exactly what it is.
You don't think this was an accident?
Hardly an accident. It was deliberate. It was premeditated, and it was targeted against a specific person. Luckily, they missed that person, but unfortunately, they hit two other people, which I think they'll be okay. I don't know. They're laying on the ground right now. We're hoping that they'll survive.
Okay, that's the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Dean Trantalis, who's a longtime, very well-known gay activist in South Florida who became mayor of Fort Lauderdale. And some of the most irresponsible actions I've ever seen from a public official, certainly in Florida. And I saw that clip, and in the same story, this was on MSNBC Saturday night, in the same story, they showed far away the police walking the man handcuffed. It was far away, but they were walking him handcuffed to the police cruiser. And I'm watching this with my wife. I said, that guy's gay. Look at his shirt. He had a gay pride shirt on. I couldn't make out what it said on the back of the shirt because it was far away and blurry, but it was in rainbow letters. And I knew that wasn't a homophobe who did this attack, because if someone was a homophobe at that level, they wouldn't go undercover with a gay pride shirt on, because they're such homophobes, they would be afraid someone would think that they're gay. Then they showed the truck, which crashed into a plant nursery. There's a lot of flower shops in Wilton Manors, obviously, and they showed he crashed into a nursery, and he had a huge full-sized rainbow flag on a pole in the back of his truck. And again, a homophobe would not be driving in a gay pride shirt with a rainbow flag, because people would think he was gay and he's such a homophobe. Boom. And MSNBC they're playing this clip of this, the most irresponsible man, Dean Trantalis, that has ever held public office in South Florida. And so I go to Twitter. And found that Jim DeFeedy, who I call Jim Defeed Me, he's a very obese reporter. He used to be with the Miami Herald, Jim Defeed Me, and then he's with one of the Miami stations. Is it CBS that he's with now? And this was early on Saturday night. Jim DeFeedy was reporting that his sources are telling him that it was an accident, that the driver of the vehicle had his foot stuck somehow between the brake and the accelerator, and it was an accident. And that was early Saturday night. Okay? And still, even though Jim DeFeedy, who's a well-known reporter, he knows everyone in the media in South Florida. He knows everyone. He knows everyone in politics, too. Jim DeFeedy is his name. Right out the bat, he's telling us what really happened. And they're still running with this story. They're still running with this story, that it was a terrorist attack. And not only does he say this, Dean Trentalis, he's saying two things. He's saying it was an attack against the gay community, and one person in particular. He's talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz. He's also saying that this was an attempted attack on Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the gays at the same time. So we find out that, it was a tragic accident, of course. A tragic accident. Someone lost their life, and those that were injured, please pray for all of them. I don't know how badly they're injured, but you get run over. That was a big old truck. Who knows what their future will be, right? There may be another loss, or they may be forever maimed. It's a terrible thing. But the three victims of the accident were members of the gay men's choir. And now we find out that the guy that was driving the truck, he's in the gay men's choir. And this came out early, too, by the guy that's the head of the leader of the gay men's choir came out and said he's part of our gay men's choir family. And he was even saying it was an accident, but not Dean Trentalis and not the liberal media. This is the mayor again.
What does this appear?
This was a terrorist attack against the LGBT community. This is exactly what it is.
You don't think this was an accident?
Hardly an accident. It was deliberate. It was premeditated, and it was targeted against a specific person. Luckily, they missed that person, but unfortunately, they hit two other people, which I think they'll be okay. I don't know. They're laying on the ground right now. We're hoping that they'll survive.
Wow. I mean, See, this is the thing. No one cares about gay people anymore. In fact, there was a poll done recently. 70% of Republicans are okay with gay marriage. But Dean Trentalis is an older guy, an older gay activist. They still want to live in the past. They're like the systemic racism crowd with critical race theory. They want to live in a past where people in this country in large numbers hate gay people, and that's just not the case. That doesn't mean that everyone's approving of their lifestyle and there aren't anti-gay haters out there, but it's not like it used to be in the olden days, Dean Trentalis. And let me take a break. There's two stories, one in Fox News story about this incident that give us more details. And the reason I'm talking about this is a couple reasons. One, it's a local story in our town. This is in Broward County, Wilton Manors, which I guess is under the influence of, are they part of Fort Lauderdale? Are the Fort Lauderdale police? Is there no longer a Wilton Manor? I don't live in Broward County anymore. I left years ago, thankfully, went up north to Palm Beach County. I jumped the county line, where it may be run by Democrats, but at least, they're forced to be a little more reasonable than the activists that run Broward. All right, listen, we'll take a break. I want to hear your thoughts on this, too, from our South Florida radio listeners. This is pretty outrageous, and Dean Trentalis needs to come out and apologize and completely retract everything he said. So let me finish up with this after the break, and then we'll get into some of the other stories, including the fake straw poll that shows DeSantis beating Trump. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Did you know that 2 out of 5 Americans suffer from some kind of allergy? So it's likely that fatigue, runny nose, headaches, intestinal problems, and a general lousy feeling can be connected to an allergy. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton offer allergy tests that can detect over 125 airborne, food, and environmental allergens. Allergy testing is quick, easy, and painless. Results can be shared with your physician or an allergist. No doctor's order or prescription is necessary. No appointment either. Just walk right in. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 20 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're back live. It's Monday, June 21st. Took Friday off for some things that I had to do, but we're back here live today, and welcome everyone. Okay, so I want to continue with what this fake news story about the gay pride accident in Wilton Manors over the weekend, because this was just terrible. So there are some updates. This is in Fort Lauderdale, of course, what we're talking about. Okay, now Fox News, listen to this. Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trentalis, who I played in the audio, is facing backlash for calling a deadly crash at a pride parade in the Florida city a terrorist attack against the LGBT community before all facts emerged. I hope I'm reading again. This is in Fox News' website that I'm reading from. I hope Dean Trentalis gets sued and removed from office or defeated. Government officials shouldn't be able to accuse someone of terrorism so flippantly without facts, says conservative author David Rabeau on Twitter. The driver and the victims were part of the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus family, according to a statement reported by news outlets from the group's president, Justin Knight. Now, this is Justin Knight, who runs the Gay Men's Chorus. He says this, quote, "To my knowledge, it was an accident. This was not an attack on the LGBTQ community," Knight said in a statement. "We anticipate more details to follow and ask for the community's love and support." Police say the driver was a 77-year-old male who had ailments preventing him from walking the duration of the parade, and he was selected to drive as the lead vehicle. So this guy was going to be leading the parade. As the parade was about to begin, a 2011 white Dodge Ram unexpectedly accelerated into the crowd. One man, tragically and sadly, was killed, another seriously injured. The truck narrowly missed Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was president of the parade. It continued across all lanes of traffic before crashing into the fence of a business, police said. Police said the driver remained on scene and has been cooperative with investigators. They said the driver showed no signs of impairment while driving. This is a terrorist attack against the LGBT community, says Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trentalis to Local 10 News on Saturday. This is exactly what it is, hardly an accident. It was deliberate. He also says it was premeditated. He gave a follow-up statement to Fox News Sunday afternoon. Here is Dean Trentalis, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, statement. It is not an apology nor a resignation. Last evening, at the start of what was to be a celebration of pride for the LGBT community and commemoration of our hard-won victories for equality, our community faced the worst of tragedies. The grief of our LGBT community and Greater Fort Lauderdale as a whole is palpable, Trentalis said. I was an eyewitness to the horrifying events. It terrorized me and all around me. I reported what I saw to law enforcement and had strong concerns about what transpired. Concerns for safety of my community. I feared it could be international based on what I saw from mere feet away. So now he's saying he was terrorized. Now I can understand that is a traumatic event. I saw Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was freaked out. She was on the cell phone in the back of the parade car. I understand that. I'd be freaked out too. Law enforcement took what appeared obvious to me and others nearby and investigated further, as is their job. As the facts continue to be pieced together, a picture is emerging of an accident in which a truck careened out of control. Dean Trentalis, Fort Lauderdale mayor, continued. Where's the apology? I was wrong. I rushed to judgment. And let me tell you something here. Okay, when I was watching, Tim, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Tim. As I said at the top, when I was watching early on, and I saw police take the guy away in a gay pride shirt, I knew right away it was an accident because the guy's a gay activist. He's gay. He's got a gay pride shirt on. Homophobes don't wear gay pride shirts. They don't want people to think they're gay. Eugene, $20 super chat. Everyone thank Eugene. Thank you. Okay? Yeah. So what is this mayor doing? The mayor is living in a past that he wants to live in. Like many critical race theory black activists live in, where homophobia is systemic and everyone hates the gays. It's not that way anymore. Especially in Wilton Manors, especially in Broward County, especially in Fort Lauderdale. And I truly hope that the media, and as I say, I went on Twitter immediately, and Jim DeFeeti, former Miami Herald reporter, I think he's with CBS in Miami now. He's with one of the TV stations in Miami. I don't remember which one. Said his sources told him it was an accident, and that was early on Saturday evening, before I went to bed. And the national media are still running with this. And then I get up yesterday morning, and I check out the local news stations in Miami and in Broward County, and they're still running with the homophobe story, slowly trickling in that it might have been an accident, because they're trying to walk it back without, having to walk it back. This is a textbook example of the poison that is the mainstream media and Democrats in our society. I remember when the Boston bombing happened, which was a terrorist attack, an Islamic terror attack on the Boston Marathon. And I was watching it live with Shepard Smith on Fox at the time. And he was doing everything he could do to say that it was not a terrorist attack. He said, this explosion could have been an electrical transformer. I remember Shepard Smith. In Boston, Shepard Smith said, the transformers are not high above on poles. They're at sidewalk level. This could have been And I remember when, I guess it was Boston police and FBI came out with a press conference after the Boston bombing, and they had a printout from security footage of the suspects, the Zarnoff brothers, and they looked white. And I remember the sigh of relief from law enforcement and the media. Oh, they're white guys. Well, yeah, but they're also Muslims, we found. But they were so excited to find out they were white guys that they could pin the Boston bombing on. Remember that? The media, they rush to judgment. They come to a conclusion without any facts. Everything is editorialized, and they don't care. They just have a narrative. And the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, his statement, he felt terrorized. He really should apologize, because what he was doing was causing, I believe, a panic. If he would have waited 5 minutes and talked to his officers at his department, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, that were on scene and handling the situation, he would have found out everything about the guy. They knew right away, okay? Because the victims were from the gay men's chorus, as was the driver in the accident vehicle, and the people right there would have said, yeah, he's in the gay men's chorus. But no! Dean Trentalis, typical politician, cameras. He saw the cameras. He ran for the cameras so fast. Oh, man. This was his opportunity to be a star. Boy, oh boy. And even after it's exposed, where's his apology for causing what very well could have been a panic? All right, we're going to take our break at the bottom of the hour. I'd very much like to hear your thoughts on this terrible thing that happened, and the accident, the tragic accident, the reaction of the Democrat mayor, Trentalis, and the fake news media. And after the break, I'm going to get into this other racket that they're running, this fake news straw poll showing Ron DeSantis beating Trump. That's coming up after the bottom of the hour break. Our number is toll-free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And I'll say one last thing about this. I was going to do a YouTube live stream Saturday night when this happened, because it was a hot story, and I knew the guy was gay. And I said, you know what? I'm going to wait. Let me wait until the morning, until the facts come out. As opposed to the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Dean Trantalis, who really should be embarrassed, as should his supporters. All right, we'll be right back with your calls, and I'll bring up some of these other topics as well after this break.
What does this appear?
This was a terrorist attack against the LGBT community. This is exactly what it is.
You don't think this was an accident?
Hardly an accident. It was deliberate, it was premeditated, and it was targeted against a specific person. Luckily, they missed that person, but unfortunately, they hit 2 other people, which I think they'll be okay. I don't know. They're laying on the ground right now. We're hoping that they'll survive.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and went backwards in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was going out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do? You know? And the dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Each way. Okay? The man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours. Put a pin in it. Put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does. He's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is a tough show, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in. But right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
All right, we're coming back.
Brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are back live this morning, and the reason we were not here live on Friday is I had to take my wife to her doctor at the hospital for some tests. She hadn't seen her doctor since before COVID because her doctor is down in Miami, and Miami is, it's like North Korea down there. It's been under lockdown, and she hasn't been able to get a bunch of her medical tests that she needs to have regularly for a year and a half or even more because of COVID. So that's why we were not here on Friday live, Steve and I. But we're back live today. And I'll tell you, Miami, my goodness, it was like traveling back in time a year in Miami. Everyone's got masks on. Masks are required. I was at a hospital with my wife. They had security guards, not just doing temperature checks, but requiring you to wear a mask to enter. No mask. You couldn't get past Checkpoint Charlie at the hospital. I mean, some of these people, you're in these Democrat towns, they just won't let it go. Everyone's vaccinated down there. But anyway, okay, so let's get to this fake news story number 2. They would take one day off, and these people on the left are out doing these things here. This straw poll that shows Ron DeSantis beating Trump. Now, they're really in a panic about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is not only the greatest governor in America and the greatest governor during this entire COVID crisis that a state could possibly have. I believe Ron DeSantis is probably the greatest governor ever in the history of American governors, taking us through this tragedy. I mean, he is to governors what America's Mayor Giuliani was to America on 9/11. He is a symbol of perfection when it comes to leadership. And he's one of these guys that's a perfect guy. He was in the House. He was a JAG lawyer. He even played in the Little League World Series, Ron DeSantis. And he's Mr. Perfect. And the left hate him because of this, because their guys are all incompetent jerks that are getting people killed, like Whitmer, Newsom, and Cuomo. And believe me, they've been investigating him, trying to find some dirt on Ron DeSantis, and they've come up with nothing. So they got this straw poll story. I'm sure you've seen the story. Ron DeSantis edges out Trump in the latest straw poll. Republicans may want DeSantis and not Trump. And I even saw some jerk on Twitter with a blue check mark, I never heard of him, over the weekend say, many Republicans are saying, DeSantis, not Trump. Really, who's that? Never Trumper. So how did Ron DeSantis beat Trump in this straw poll? Well, we have to go to a liberal source. Newsweek. Let me read this story to you. Be a little patient with me because I want to read this to you. This racket, this scam, this con job. Listen to this. This is Newsweek. Ron DeSantis edges out Trump for president in straw poll of Western Conservative Summit. We're in trouble. Trump's out. The MAGA thing's falling apart. Listen, this is the story in Newsweek. And I did tweet this. If you follow me on Twitter, Brian Craig Show on the Twitter. Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis won over former President Donald Trump in a straw poll for 2024 presidential candidates conducted by the Western Conservative Summit, the poll's organizer reported on Saturday. Okay? Now, the next 2 paragraphs, listen closely and turn your radios up for this. Yes, if you're watching on YouTube, I did shave. I've stopped shaving a lot because of the mask thing, but now I guess we're in a post-mask America. I got to start shaving again. Okay, now these next 2 paragraphs are very important about this straw poll. Listen. DeSantis led the poll with 74% of voters saying they approve of him as a presidential candidate, ahead of Trump's 71%. DeSantis is 3 points ahead! Listen, the poll was held online using the approval voting method, where voters selected multiple responses to each question. Now listen to this. You could multiple responses you could pick. Because voters were allowed to make more than one choice, the percentages of the poll add up to more than 100%. Poll conductor Frank Atwood told Colorado Politics that the decision to use the approval voting method minimizes spoilers and sabotage and gives viability and visibility to minor candidates. So you could vote multiple times. So what happened? So the never-Trumper Republican establishment had their people vote more than once for DeSantis. They're trying to cause division between Trump and DeSantis. Okay? Trump is our nominee in 2024. DeSantis is our nominee in 2028 and very likely to be Trump's vice president in 24. They can find no dirt on DeSantis. They've been able to get nothing on Trump. Oh yeah, they got investigations. What happened to that tax investigation? They got his taxes 6 months ago. Nothing there. What happened to the grand jury in New York that was going to bring him down? No indictments. You can indict a ham sandwich in a grand jury, but apparently not Trump. That's how clean he is. So what are they doing? They're back to their stereotypes. They're trying to divide. Oh, Trump's a big egomaniac. He's got his name on everything. We get this thing out there. He'll get pissed off at DeSantis. It'll divide them. Believe me, Trump knows what I just shared with you. Probably figured it out before I did. And I figured it out pretty damn quick. Okay? They're trying to divide MAGA. It's a fake straw poll. You could vote multiple times. So they just have they only need one jerk. Beep, 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 beep. All of a sudden, DeSantis is the winner. Uh-oh, MAGA's over. What a bunch of low-live scumbags. Low-live scumbags. That's the Newsweek story. I did tweet that. Share it with your friends. Was there any real news over the weekend, or was it all fake? All right, let's take some calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian, you're spot on that trying to divide MAGA. It's all about division. The Democrats are all about division. They want to stir up the hornet's nest. Conservatives is about bringing people together. No matter what you believe, love your country. Do what's right for our country. And that's what we need to do, is just do what's right.
Well, you know, this straw poll story is being reported all over the place, and I'm going to tell you, this isn't just me patting myself on my own back. Someone's got to do it. Nobody else is doing it, but nobody has picked up on what I picked up on. You could vote multiple times. It was a fixed poll. It was a fake poll. DeSantis did not beat Trump in the straw poll, but they're running with that headline. They're liars. All right, Jeff, take care. All right, did you have something? I thought I lost you. Do you have something else?
News, that guy was gay in that.
Well, I think he still is gay. He was gay Saturday. He still is gay today. Yeah.
He is gay, but on one more thing, his foot got stuck on the gas pedal somehow. They just.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned that earlier, probably before you tuned in. You know, and here's the thing. Okay, I mentioned I saw the police taking him away, and I saw that he had a gay pride shirt on, because whatever was written on it was rainbow. I knew right away, and I promise you, every gay guy at the scene right there knew this guy's a famous guy in town. He was going to be leading the parade with that truck before the accident happened. And this mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Dean Trantalis, is going out there trying to turn this into the Pulse nightclub for his own, I guess, purposes.
And he didn't even apologize. He said, I won't apologize because I felt terror.
I felt terror. Yeah, well, I felt disgust at you.
It's okay for him to claim a terrorist attack on the LGBTQ people, and he didn't even have the facts.
Yeah, and he's the one spreading hate. I mean, who would do such a thing, right? Christian right-wing nutcases. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, listen, I'm gonna say this. This is, part of our listening area, our local community. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, okay? I went to high school in Fort Lauderdale. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. My mother lives in Fort Lauderdale. I love Fort Lauderdale, and it's a shame that the great city of Fort Lauderdale, which I believe has the best beach in all of Florida, okay, is run by this guy. But I'll tell you this, to the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, if you would like to call in on the program this morning and explain yourself to the community, please do. We'll put you right on the air. All right, Jeff and May, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian, Wisconsin. Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Today.
All right.
You know, this poll that you were mentioning about, and I think the American people are a lot wiser than that. Don't get me wrong. DeSantis is a great, great, great governor in your state. I wish that my governor would come down there and then DeSantis would actually knock some sense into him about how to make a great state. So I'm not debating anything on DeSantis of what he's done, but the American people know that who they want for president. They had 4 years of Donald Trump in office. He did great things to the U.S. He made America.
Well, this is what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do, they can't beat Trump. They can't beat DeSantis. In the public opinion polls here, because DeSantis has had such great leadership through COVID, and he's becoming this. So they're trying to put DeSantis and Trump against one another. People try to pull this crap with Steve and I all the time. People will call in and try to turn me against Steve or Steve against me. This is what pathetic people do. They're trying to divide MAGA. They think Trump has an ego problem. They figure this will set Trump off against DeSantis. It ain't happening, people.
And it won't, because we the people know better.
Well, and Trump knows better, too.
Yeah, everything that the left tries to do, it's not going to work.
Mm-mm. No.
For 2024, then we're going to probably know for a fact.
Well, then he'll endorse DeSantis.
Right, and we all know, because the word has been slowly coming out bit by bit, that, the way the U.S. is being ran by Biden, Trump, I do believe, in 24, will be running for president.
Absolutely. And when?
President.
Yeah. All right, we have to take our break, Wisconsin guy. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It is 45 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We're going to take a break, and then we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Checked the temperature this morning before I left. The high today is going to be almost 90 degrees here in South Florida. The hot weather, it's already here, and it's only going to get hotter. On the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. He's going to tell you how he can save you big money on your electric bill.
We're facing the onslaught of summer here, and a lot of people are going to be noticing that.
Now listen, guys, there's a link to this in the description of this video. You've heard me mention it a few times. One of our listeners, Sandra, who's one of the most loyal listeners to this program that we've ever had. She's an immigrant from the Caribbean. She's MAGA, and she has breast cancer. She set up a GoFundMe. She's a single mom. She's got all kinds of it's a mess, right? And I mean, she didn't even want to put together a GoFundMe. She talked to my wife and I, and we told her to set up this GoFundMe. There's a link in the description. If you could help Sandra out, please click that link in there. My wife and I have donated to her. If you can, that's great. If you cannot, it's okay too. But if you can, the link is right at the top of my YouTube description.
We have known Scott from Cut My Kilowatts for well over a decade. He's with us every summer here on the Steve Kane Show. In the heat of the summer, the attic, how hot does an attic get during the summer, Scott?
It can get, depending on what kind of roof it has, with a shingle or tile, shingle being the hottest, 140, 150, even 160 degrees.
Yeah, and what that does is that 150, 160 degree heat in your attic makes your ceiling hot, and of course your air conditioning ducts are in your ceiling. It heats them up, and it makes your air conditioner work longer, harder, causing your electric bill going up, struggling to keep your house cool. So Scott has the radiant barrier. So tell people what radiant barrier is and how it works.
Radiant barrier is like a big aluminum foil tarp. It goes on the underside of the roof deck below the trusses, so there's an air gap so it doesn't damage the roof. And it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof around and pushes it back up out the roof. So it makes your roof function like a white shingle reflective roof. You know, you see those white roofs on people's houses. They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the underside of your roof deck. You know, it's like $1 a square foot. And we've even got a special if you spend 2,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So it's very reasonable, it's very affordable. This time of year, you know, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do traditional insulation, and we do ductwork. So we can do like the complete job in your attic, whatever you need up in your attic. Insulation, ductwork, you know, radiant barrier, we can do the whole package.
Now listen,
we do that for a lot of people.
It's getting hot today. It's going to be about 88, 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon. And because of that, Scott, he's offering a great discount before it gets super, super hot, because as it gets hotter and hotter, it's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I'm going to give you, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, I'm going to give you his website and his number. If you miss this, it's listed at SteveKaneShow.com. First, you can give Scott a call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Online, cutmykilowatts.com. And again, listed at SteveKaneShow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every summer. All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All righty, 49 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Brought up some pretty important fake news topics this morning that we're discussing, analyzing, and exposing all at the same time. Let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that's crazy. They just trying to split the MAGA team, try to split us up.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron DeSantis, I'm in Florida, he's the best. I would never trade him for anybody that ever come in Florida and try to take over. He's the best. And him and Donald Trump, President Trump, have a good relationship, and they won't never be able to do that. So, me, I'm not worried, but I know their game is,
well, they put together a damn straw poll where you can vote multiple times. So they get one never-Trumper in there to hit the button a bunch of times, and all of a sudden DeSantis wins. They didn't tell you that in the headline on TV, did they?
No.
Mm-mm.
If their old poll look more favorable to Ron.
Yeah, the fixed poll. It's a fixed fake poll.
Exactly. And that's what they always do. They lie, they cheat, they do everything.
That's what, well, that because, you know, and this is the thing. Most people, when they go through the news, only read the headlines. Very few people read the articles. They read the headlines, and that's the story to them. That's human nature. I read beyond the headlines because I know headlines are misleading on purpose. That's how they push their agenda through. And if they get busted, they say, well, it's in the, you got to read the story. It's in the story that nobody reads.
Yeah, just like everything else they do. They put the headline, the first headline be, and that's a first impulse that most people look at. And I know a lot of people that they just go by what they see the headline say. Oh, the headline said Trump did this. Oh, the headline said Ron DeSantis did this. I'm like, that's not true. Read the whole page. Read everything.
Yeah, just like this fake story of the hate crime at the gay pride parade. Same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Maria. Take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning, Brent.
Hey, Richie, the bus driver. What's up, Richie?
Hope Kathy's okay with all the tests, by the way. I wanted to know whether you got over to see the tweaking beach over there. Did you get a chance to go over there?
The what?
The twerking beach.
Oh, in Miami Beach? No twerking beach for me. No twerking beach for me. I put the GoFundMe link for Sandra. I pinned it at the top of the chat, guys.
People, the press is like the communist press. I mean, they are in cahoots. They're activists. They're not journalists. They come on there and look at you with a straight face. The average American person doesn't do the research that you do, and they're not as familiar with politics as MAGA people. See, MAGA people are very involved in politics.
That's right.
That's around. And the average person that isn't a MAGA person, that's just like neutral, he goes to work and he goes into a supermarket like Publix and he sees the outrageous prices just going up like crazy. He gasses his car and he sees it's over $1 more an hour than it was when Trump was president of the United States, and it's going up every day.
Yeah, you know, I was on the turnpike on Saturday morning, and there was a guy at the gas pump next to me. He was filling up his truck and his boat on the turnpike, and he was just yelling out loud about the gas, how much it was costing to fill up his truck, because he has a big truck to pull the big boat, and he was just going off, talking to strangers. That he's, you know what I mean? Who talks to strangers at gas pumps? People that are pissed off about the price of gas.
They're out there. You can see them. If you don't even know, they're shaking their heads like, I can't believe this, and as their hands on a nozzle. I mean, so listen. This is so outrageous. They talk about the talk is about President Trump and DeSantis. The talk should be about this incompetency going on. And just like they say, the border is closed, but every day I watch, and they'll say to you, "What do you watch Fox News?" Yeah, I do, because they're down there and they're actually knowing what's going on, not what they're.
Yeah, but this fake straw poll story though was everywhere yesterday. I mean, they're really trying to push that lie.
And there's one other thing I want to bring up about your podcast yesterday, because I don't know if you read my comments as you were going along, because you probably didn't. You were talking about the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm. Well, the bishops in this country are making a move to forbid Joe Biden from receiving Holy Communion because of his abortion support.
Listen, the bottom line is this. The United States is losing Catholics, okay? The Catholic Church is failing in the United States because it started with the birth control thing, where they're against birth control, but people in this country they don't care what the Vatican is telling them.
Yeah, why don't you just get to the pedophile priest thing, because I know that's probably where you're going.
Well, that's in there too, but the thing is that it's the communist pope that you got in the Vatican.
Well, do you know why there are so many gay priests?
Well,
I know why.
My opinion, because the normal thing is that you want to be with a woman. That's
no. The reason there are so many gay priests is pretty simple. Most priests that because I'm Catholic, okay. Most priests I've met grew up in the church. Okay, they grew up in the church. And if if they're gay and they're that religious where they're involved in the church morning, noon, and night their entire life, being gay is something that they struggle with. And if you become a priest, becoming a priest is the perfect job for a gay man that doesn't want to come out of the closet for whatever reason, because there's no expectation on you to get married, have a girlfriend even. You know what I mean? And because it's the perfect lifestyle for someone who, for whatever reason, doesn't want to come out as gay. That's why there's so many gay. There's other reasons too, but that's the main reason there's so many gay priests.
And the other thing with this Wilton Manor deal, this mayor, first of all, he felt like a victim after he found out the facts. You know why he feels like a victim? Because that's what they're marching in.
He wants to be a victim.
That's it.
He really, and I got to say, I felt that he wanted it to be an anti-gay attack as opposed to just a tragic accident, and it was a tragedy because someone lost their life, and the other two, I don't know how badly they're injured, but they could be forever maimed, and who knows, one of the others may pass, and it's a sad, tragic accident. But this mayor, Dean Trentalis of Fort Lauderdale, a longtime gay activist down here, is reckless. What he did was reckless, and what he did could turn people against. Who's he targeting? Christians. Who else would do something? I knew the guy was gay immediately, and Jim DeFeedy was reporting that it was an accident right after the event.
Absolutely, but even though it was an accident, he has this feeling in his normal day-to-day activities that the world is against him, and that's why they got these parades going on in the streets.
No, people don't care about gays anymore. They've won everything. The war's over.
I tell you, I do care about gays when you start seeing them half undressed in the streets acting like idiots. This is not.
I don't know. They seem more in control than the crew of African American youth on South Beach doing the twerking all over South Beach. I mean, come on. I mean, which is more sexual, the gay pride parade or the twerkers on South Beach that have
on South Beach, because they actually, for anyone that doesn't know what's going on, they're in the middle of this.
Can you imagine the loss? Can you imagine the loss of wealth that has occurred on South Beach so far as real estate prices because of what they've turned it into down there?
Well, that's the owners of these businesses' fault, because it was a low time, and they said let's get people down there during Memorial Day. It's slow. Look what happened.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
If Versace were still alive, he would sell his mansion and move somewhere else.
They shoot at each other in the streets down there, if you don't know.
When I went down there last year, I said, you know what, this is probably going to be my last visit to South Beach in Miami Beach. It's just not, it's not because it's majority black, as people will say. It's because the twerking is a simulated sex act, and every other car has a girl doing the twerking out of the roof of the car or on the streets, and it's not a place where you want to go with your family.
No, it isn't. You pull up, you're driving through, and you're looking and you're saying, look, right in the middle of the road, you wonder if there's an accident.
Yeah. When I was a single guy, I used to go down to South Beach and spend the weekends down there, and man, I could write a book about the times I had, but I used to go down there because it was a fun place. I used to run into movies. I went to a nightclub one night, and who was there? Right next to me, Dennis Hopper. Here I am, having drinks next to Dennis Hopper, who was a big movie star at the time. That's how long ago it was. But it's not that way anymore.
Really quick, you bring up the South Beach deal. You know that LeBron James, our wonderful left leader in the NBA, his mother got arrested down there during that week. She got drunk at a party, and she resisted arrest. And
yeah.
For the news.
Yeah.
It's cops.
Yeah. All right, Richie the bus driver, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. It's 7 a.m. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. We are back live, people. It's Monday, June 21st, 2021. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back with the second hour right after this.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each?
I hit the wrong thing. Got to hit the legal ID there.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors, Debbie from I Will Advisors has launched...
Deidre, $25 super chat. Everyone thank Deidre. With the new criminal aspect into Trump, wouldn't that require a charge to pursue or even announce a criminal case against Trump or any American? Is it now law to investigate until you find... Will conservatives see any justice? Yeah, what's up? I hit the wrong thing, that's all. I hit the wrong spot. They don't need to come public. Grand juries are secret. But the fact that they 2-3 weeks in and they haven't been able to get an indictment shows they got nothing.
Never worry about your health care ever again. Let I Will Advocates handle everything for you. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers, and Mike Lindell, he's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy, and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helping...
Bus drivers are underpaid? Are you kidding? Does Richie sound like he was underpaid? He's got some fat pension. He's doing well. Lives in a big old house.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the...
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely. My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome.
Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2 has begun 5 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. I want to take another call or two. I brought up some, before I bring up any new topics, so if you're on hold, stand by, and I thought I brought up some pretty hot subject matter in hour number 1, which I will review and recap later on for people that may not have set their alarm clocks properly at 5. You got to set your alarm clocks 5:55 a.m. Eastern so that you're up and awake right when I open my mic up at the 6 o'clock hour, because that's the hot time there where I drop all the big stories. But if you miss a portion of the show, we are on the air overnights, Monday through Friday, midnight till 6 a.m. on all of our radio stations and iHeartRadio. And also, if you miss a portion of the show, if you follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube, the shows are archived up there, and you can fast forward and rewind to any part of the program that you may have missed. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Robert Pitts, Kentucky.
Hey, Robert, what's up?
Man, the left is so scared of President Trump.
And Ron DeSantis. I mean, this is a, you put DeSantis and Trump together, I mean, they're a superhero duo. I mean, they're, Batman and Robin, or, I don't know.
Absolutely. No, I was going to say, man, their straw poll sounds a whole lot like the pig that built.
Yeah, I would say so. And every newscast running with this fake straw poll, no one has exposed that they could vote multiple times. No one but me, which tells you the poll is not valid. All right, take care, man. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. There's a story today. I'm going to share this with you, and I want to hear your thoughts on this particular story. It's about Tucker Carlson. And the headline is this is a Huffington Post story, okay? I read everything. The Huffington Post is pretty left-wing, but I read everything. I don't just read things that I agree with. I need to know what's going on out there. And there's a Huffington Post story that I think I need to share, and I want to hear your feedback on it at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Tucker Carlson outed as secret source reportedly dished on Trump and Fox News. Let me read the story. Fox News host Tucker Carlson, who routinely rails against the mainstream media, is reportedly a secret and frequent source for reporters in the very organizations he's attacking, according to the New York Times. Mr. Carlson, a proud traitor to the elite political class, spends his time when he's not denouncing the liberal media trading gossip with them, wrote media columnist Ben Smith. He is, that's Tucker Carlson, he's the go-to guy for sometimes unflattering stories about Donald J. Trump and for coverage of the internal politics of Fox News. Not to mention stories about Mr. Carlson himself. He wrote that Tucker Carlson's willingness to dish is an open secret in Washington. Smith said he trades messages with Tucker Carlson himself and said 16 other journalists from outlets other than the Times had all said Tucker Carlson had been a source, with 3 calling him a great source. Carlson's rhetoric has turned increasingly extremist, airing conspiracy theories about January 6th. It goes on and on. What are your thoughts on that? Tucker Carlson has done some amazing reporting in the past few weeks. Last week, he talked about the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and there was a third organization, I can't remember the name of it, are being run and controlled and influenced by the FBI. And I thought that was some major reporting. It was very important. A few weeks back, he exposed Kevin McCarthy living with Frank Luntz, the liberal pollster. So he has been really reporting some hardcore stuff that is causing a lot of problems in Washington power circles. So here's my question about this. Do you believe the story or not? That's one. Do you believe the story or not? And even if the story's true, is it a bad thing? What I mean by that is, Tucker Carlson could be communicating with these reporters he attacks all the time and giving them information that's good information that he thinks they should be reporting on. Now, a couple things about Tucker I'll remind you of, though. He did come from CNN. Remember, he was at CNN for a long time. And maybe he's trying to restore them to their former greatness. I don't know. He might have an interest in that. And there was a story last year that came out that Tucker Carlson, now I've not seen this totally confirmed, but Tucker Carlson, who like a lot of these other rich guys, lives in Palm Beach near Mar-a-Lago. Did you know that Sean Hannity just recently bought a house a couple miles from Mar-a-Lago, and Neil Cavuto too from Fox News? Did you guys know that? I know. But anyway, during the pandemic early on, Tucker Carlson, it was reported. Now, I've not seen this confirmed by a major source. So, take this lightly. But there was a story during the pandemic that Tucker Carlson did not think President Trump was handling the situation and taking COVID seriously enough. And that he, unannounced, got in his car and drove to Mar-a-Lago, asked to see President Trump. They let him in, and he met with President Trump and told him he needed to take things a little more seriously than he had been. So I don't know. But is Tucker... I tend to think Tucker Carlson is okay. But is it possible that some of this reporting we're seeing, the stuff he did last week about the different groups involving the Capitol breach and then the Kevin McCarthy, is it possible, is it at all possible that Tucker Carlson is establishment Republican and he's trying to infiltrate Trump and MAGA by reporting these stories? What do you guys think? Is the story completely fake news from the Huffington Post? I don't take things I read in the Huffington Post all that serious, but I thought I felt that I should share this with you and hear your thoughts on it. At 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We are keeping a line open throughout the entire show today for Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trantalis to call in and explain himself. And I don't know if the mayor's listening, but I am sure that people that know the mayor are listening, and they will at some point, I would think, let him know that we have this open line for him to call in and explain himself and the panic and rush to judgment that he was involved in at this tragic accident at the Fort Lauderdale Gay Pride Parade over the weekend, because so I'm going to keep a line open for him throughout the entire show. Yeah, I know some people don't think I should be reading the Huffington Post. I read everything, okay, that I can. And, a lot of times, liberal sources are good to read because you get the mindset of the left. Now, this Huffington Post story about Tucker Carlson could just as easily be them trying to turn us against Tucker. Tucker Carlson's shows last week on the Capitol breach were things that we have suspected and heard before, but it was the first time someone in the mainstream went on national TV with those stories like that, because Tucker Carlson's a very credible guy. I don't think he's that partisan either. I think Tucker Carlson is a truth teller. I think Tucker Carlson is a guy who just wants the facts out there, regardless of which side of the political aisle benefit from them. I think he's just an honest guy. So I don't think the story is exactly true, although I could see him calling up reporters at liberal sources and saying, hey, you should know about this. That's not a bad thing. If he's calling them up to tell them something truthful that he wants them to report, right? That's not a bad thing. I've had, in the past, liberal reporters call me and call Steve for information, and they rarely report what we share with them because they don't want to hear our perspective. I wouldn't shut them out. If you can give them good information about something from that's truthful, you should give it to reporters. All right, our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. I was reading a story this morning about Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell's such a great guy. He's got another big rally event coming up next month. Last weekend, he had that event in Wisconsin that President Trump was at with Charlie Kirk, Diamond and Silk, Dinesh D'Souza, and others. He paid with his own pocket. And I was sharing with you guys last week that Mike Lindell has lost $65 million this year already. We're not even halfway through the year completely yet. We're just towards the end of June. We're about halfway. He's lost $65 million already on MyPillow sales because he's been shut out of these big box retailers, and he is still spending his own money in huge amounts to support and defend Trump. I saw a story today. He has lost millions of dollars. Last year, early on in the pandemic, there was a shortage. Remember the PPE shortage? Doctors and nurses didn't have enough protective equipment. So Mike Lindell shut down his factory from the manufacturing of his great products and dedicated his factory to manufacturing masks, cotton masks, because he has a lot of cotton on hands for his factory. And he spent millions of dollars of his own money manufacturing masks because there was a shortage of PPE, personal protection equipment, personal protective equipment, whatever it stands for. And he has a warehouse filled with them because no one would take them. The hospitals wouldn't take Mike Lindell's masks. And now he said he can't even give them away because I guess we're in a post-mask era. And he was trying to help Trump. It was early on in the pandemic. No one has done what Mike Lindell does, right? Spend millions of his own dollars trying to support Trump and help this country every step of the way. And he continues to do it every day in everything he does. And, the best thing you can do to stand with Mike Lindell, and you're helping the Steve Kane Show at the same time, is go to MyPillow.com and buy these great products using the promo code KANE at checkout. You can save over 60% off on some of these items. The Giza Dream Sheets, which I sleep on every night. Buy one set, get a second set free, and free shipping on the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets from MyPillow when you use the promo code KANE. The MyPillow Premium Pillow and the MyPillow Towel Set, both at their lowest prices ever with the promo code KANE. The pillow just $29.98 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout. The MyPillow Towel Set, just $44.98 with the promo code KANE at checkout. The regular price on the MyPillow Towel Set, $109.99. But with the promo code KANE, just $44.98. The MyPillow slippers, I love these. I wear them all the time at home and out and about sometimes too. 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. I have all these items I'm talking about this morning. The MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code KANE, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you receive 2 free premium MyPillows. And this mattress topper is amazing. I've been getting the best night's sleep I've ever had. I've had the mattress topper a couple of months now. I think I got it back in April. And I have been sleeping the whole night through. For the first time in my entire adult life, I wake up with my alarm clock now from night one with the MyPillow mattress topper. It's that good. 30% off and 2 free MyPillows with the promo code Kane at checkout. There's many other products there that you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane. Stand with Mike Lindell and support the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
In construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Any lab tests now of Boca offer more than just lab work. They also have B12 injections available. B12 injections promote weight loss, increase energy, reduce stress, promote healthy skin, improve sleep, increase metabolism, fight heart disease, improve memory, and improve mood. B12 injections at any lab test now of Boca Raton, like their lab test, are priced low. 5 injections for just $69. Other places in town charge $349 for 3 injections, so that is a huge savings. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Wow, someone told me during the break that Mike Lindell has lost $7 million off of the masks. And the reason no one would take them is because Mike Lindell made them. That's how Democrats are. They would rather people be in danger than take something from a Trump supporter. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
This is Bill from Sanford. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, what's up?
Well, Tucker Carlson, he is the best I've ever seen. He tells it like it is. He's never came out for Trump. He's never came out against Trump. He reports the news, and he reports what's going on against the conservative party.
Well, the left are really upset with him for 2 reasons. One, he is reporting all these stories that are exposing him. So they're trying to discredit him from MAGA. And they've been pressing him to say whether or not he's been vaccinated, and he won't say. That has them flipped out. They're trying to discredit Tucker Carlson with us.
Well, he's for the vaccination. He said
Promo
that
code
number
Kane,
of times.
Kane, Kane. Yeah, but they keep asking him if he got it, and he won't answer. So they're really flipped out.
I think that's
K-A-N-E
personal.
is
I
the
really
promo
do.
code.
That's up to everybody.
Well, no, what Tucker Carlson, though, is Tucker Carlson has had 2 bombshell stories that should really have him nominated for, I don't know, Pulitzers, whatever they give broadcast journalists. One is his story last week about the infiltration of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and their role in the Capitol breach, which was amazing. And then exposing that Kevin McCarthy was living with that liberal pollster, Frank Luntz. I mean, those are just 2 massive stories. And now all of a sudden they're trying to tell us he's in league with the liberals after he's been exposing these stories? I don't think so.
Well, you made the point. He had a problem with Trump, and he goes down and he talks to Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't go behind his back.
Yeah.
Something on the air and attack him. He's never attacked Trump, but he's never came out for him.
But who do you think? What individual? I'll tell you who I think. You may get this right. What individual do you think hates Tucker Carlson more than any other individual?
everybody at MSN.
No, not at MSNBC. No, Sean Hannity.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. He first off, he's number one in the ratings, and he's got all these huge stories. I think he makes Hannity look vanilla. Yeah.
Well, Hannity's been. I've basically stopped listening.
Oh, so if Hannity had dirt, on Tucker Carlson to embarrass him, do you think he'd leak it?
No.
Really? Okay. Oh, he's got to hate Tucker Carlson. I think Tucker Carlson makes Hannity look bad, look weak.
Well, I don't think so. But.
Really? You don't think there's any petty things that go? Of course there's little petty things that go on. I'll throw that out to you guys on the audience. By the way, Friday was the last Rush Limbaugh program.
What was that?
Friday was the last Rush Limbaugh show on the radio.
I've been listening to all of them.
Yeah, that was it. Today the news show starts with, who's the guy? Clay Travis, the sports guy, and Buck Sexton?
They're coming on today.
Yeah, I have a lot of problems with this. And I've mentioned this before, and I'm a little concerned because we have two shows that have, I hate to say replaced Rush, but have taken over that time slot. One, of course, is Bongino, who I like a lot. Clay Travis, I've seen him on Fox, mostly reacting to sports stories, And Buck Sexton, I've seen him on Fox, and he seems all right. But my concern is this, that Buck Sexton's from the CIA. And when you're once in this, I don't think anybody ever leaves that life. And Bongino, as much as I like Bongino, he's a federal agent too, right? Secret Service guy. So Rush Limbaugh has been replaced by one people. One's a federal agent, the other's from the CIA. That's I don't know. That's scary to me.
Well, they both have. Well, the FBI, if you include the FBI, both have a bad past. They're not reliable.
Yeah, does it seem like just a coincidence? Does it seem like just a coincidence that the people that have taken over that time slot have that kind of background, both of the shows? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a coincidence to me.
I would like to know who picked them. Did Rush have anything to do with Catherine Eve?
I don't know. I haven't heard it explained. No, I have not heard it explained. Yeah, no. They say they're promoting the show as inspired by Rush, which is so strange. Those obviously were not my picks. My first pick to take over the time slot was Bill O'Reilly. Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that would have been the best, but that didn't happen. But I also would have liked the show to have stayed named the Rush Limbaugh program and then have the name of the new host, after it.
His comments in the past are relevant today. There's so many of them. When I've been listening to them the last few weeks.
Yeah, but they can't keep playing the reruns forever. It's not only creepy. I mean, they are going to get dated. They had to come up with a new host, but I'm suspicious of what they've come up with. That's all. It's going
to be interesting to see how they do today.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a lot of praising. It'll be a lot. I give everybody a chance, but it'll be a lot of praising Rush, is what it'll be, because they want to establish that they were brought up and raised on Rush and all this stuff, and maybe that's true. I don't know, but and Buck Sexton had a big connection to Beck, didn't he? Glenn Beck coming up through the ranks, and I don't know. I'm not happy, but nobody cares if I'm happy or not. I don't have a role in who they pick, but I'm not happy with what they did on both of these things, and I like Dan Bongino a lot, but the show's mediocre.
He doesn't really have the personality. I like him too, but I don't think he can hold an audience for 3 hours.
3 hours is not easy. 3 hours is not easy. I mean, I do it every day, and then I got my podcast. That's a lot. And
you do it without guests. You do the 3 hours. It's no notes.
No notes. No.
Rush had a stack of stuff. Remember?
Well, I do. Any stories, it's not physical. I tweet everything that I read. So I go through my Twitter feed to remind me of a story, or so. Sometimes during the break I'll read a story that I've read earlier, or go through my Twitter feed. I tweet my stack of stuff. You know, I don't print it up. I used to a long time ago, but you know, we're a little more modern today. But no, everything's unscripted and raw. And so far as guests, I'll have an occasional guest on my podcast, and I get some pretty big names over there. But the thing with guests is, I ask myself, what can I ask them that they haven't been asked 10,000 times before? Like, I got to tell you, I would be terrified to interview President Trump, unless he was in studio on the phone, because I don't know, what could I ask President Trump that he hasn't been asked 20,000 times?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and nobody loves Trump more than me, you know. And those are difficult things to do. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, a lot of these guests are just ego exercises for the host to rub elbows with people. I do like Dan Bongino a lot, but I've given the show a pretty hard chance. And the podcast is different, because a podcast isn't interactive like a radio show with the listening audience, and you know, and there's no calls. And on a podcast, it's not live. You can actually stop and do a segment over, or something, or stop it and then come back tomorrow and do the next segment. You know what I mean? Sitting down for 3 hours, I just don't think it. You know, I had a guy who was kind of stalking me a few years ago, and it was a big problem. This one stalker. I've had multiple stalkers, so if you think I'm talking about you, I probably am not. Okay, I've had many stalkers over the years, but there was this one guy who was stalking me, and really stalking me pretty hard. And he thought everything I said on the radio was directed at him. Everything. No matter what I talked about, no matter what I said, like this conversation that we're having, he would think I was talking about him, like I literally am right now. And I told Steve, I said, this guy is a sicko. He thinks everything I say is directed specifically and directly towards him. And he says, well, that means you finally passed the ultimate test of if people listening on the radio feel so connected to you that you're directly speaking to them. That's what every radio personality dreams of. And Bongino really doesn't have that. He's a great podcast host, and he's a great guest, but the show is eh. And now what we're going to have is this ratings war between Bongino and Buck Sexton and Clay Travis, and I don't think Bongino's going to win it.
He may not. But let me tell you, if you were ever to interview Trump, I think the best way to do it is go golfing with him first and then interview.
Well, the thing about someone like Trump that most of these interviewers make a mistake at doing is you just let Trump be Trump, right? Like Corey Lewandowski said, you let Trump talk, and that'll be the best interview that you ever had. You know, they get too bogged down on their questions. You just got to let the man talk, and that's how you interview Trump. You really don't ask him much. And oh yeah, absolutely. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Steve will be joining us after the next break. We're going to take a break real quick, come back with some more calls, and I want to recap some of the things I brought up in the first hour and still have some new things to touch on as well. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonials about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress topper? I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got free.
Make sure you like the video. Everybody in the chat, if you could like the video, that would be really awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes.
And those of you that donated to Sandra's GoFundMe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I see some of you did since I made the announcement. I put the link, I pinned the link at the top of the chat there. Well, I hope my podcast doesn't put you to sleep, Freedom Soup. I haven't seen Bongino's Fox News show yet. You know?
So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. And when you use the promo code Kane...
Well, it's not my GoFundMe. It's hers, so I'm not handling it. She's handling it. I'm just promoting the link.
Topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group. 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
All right, we're coming back.
The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve will be joining us after the next break. It is 34 minutes after 7. It's Monday. We're back here live. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Barry, you caught me off guard. Attorney Barry Siegel. I'm sorry, I should have answered the phones during the break, and I didn't. Who, of course, is our living trust attorney, our estate planning attorney, our elder law attorney, our Medicaid planning attorney. He does a lot of things at the Siegel Law Group. What do you have for us today, Attorney Barry Siegel?
Hope you, Steve, and the listeners out there who are celebrating Father's Day had a great Father's Day. And anyway, the trend continues with people moving to South Florida in droves. The housing market is on fire. People are coming down here from other states, either with no estate plan or an estate plan from whatever state they came from, and that means it's time to have their estate plan reviewed. So for anybody out there who has an estate plan from another state, or if you've never created one, meaning you only have the state of Florida estate plan, the rules of intestacy, then I'm inviting you to come in for a free review to have it reviewed so that you'll know what you have. We can make some recommendations if necessary, and you can get that peace of mind and make sure you have an estate plan that's going to work for you and your life.
Yeah, and it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group, so when you call, take advantage of that free consultation. And if you already have documents, of course, as Barry said, he'll review them at no charge, but you don't already have to have an estate plan to call. If you don't have one, free consultation for you, too, at the Siegel Law Group. Here's the number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. Attorney Barry Siegel. We'll talk tomorrow. All right. You too. Take care. Take care. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Doug.
Hey, Doug.
A great thing I watched that you showed about that church, man. That was a beautiful.
Oh, if you go on my YouTube channel, I made a video not this Saturday, the Saturday before. I went to the church where Trump married Melania, where Barron was baptized, and where Trump still worships at today with the Trump family in Palm Beach. And I made a YouTube video tour of it. It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, man, what a beautiful place. But the only question I have is, how could there be no parking spaces for the church? Isn't there a parking lot for the church?
They have a parking lot, but they don't like rubberneckered tourists filling up their parking lot. There's a sign that says you'll be towed if you park there.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, it was a beautiful place, and amazing how.
Yeah. I parked at the Flagler Mansion, and I have an electric scooter that I rode, which you'll see in the video if you watch it. I rode an electric scooter there, and after that, right after the church, I went to Mar-a-Lago, and then that's the day I drove over to Rush's mansion.
That Flagler place is fantastic, also, man. I've been there. What a good place to take a trip to.
Yeah, I know.
The main reason I was calling is, I know things are changing all the time, but
Laura, $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank Laura.
I'm so sick. Oh, we want to change
you,
America.
Yeah.
Land from why don't they, if they don't like this country, get the hell out, go someplace else.
Yeah.
The majority is very happy with the way things.
Well, who was it? Who was it that wanted to change the American flag? Some has-been singer. I can't remember which one. I don't remember which one. And you know, we were talking about interview questions. If I had her on the line, I can't even remember her name, and she wants to change the American flag, what I would ask her are what do the things on the American flag mean? Everything on the American flag has a purpose. Not just the 50 stars for the states, but the color, everything has a purpose. And Macy Gray, thank you very much. Macy Gray, and I bet she does not even know what she's offended by. All of a sudden, she's offended because somebody else said they were offended. So now, you remember that lady, I played it on the air about a week ago on MSNBC, was disturbed at seeing the American flag flying on cars and on trucks. And now all of a sudden, all the black liberals are disturbed and offended by the flag.
This is really annoying. I find myself watching TV and want to shut it off because every time you put it on, you never get anything but negative, hate America, hate white.
Well, you know, this thing with Juneteenth, I think it's fine to have Juneteenth as a national holiday, and a lot of people don't realize this. You know what Juneteenth is? You know what it's celebrating? What kind of holiday it is?
Well, it's the... when the slaves are made to be free.
A little bit. It's a Republican holiday. Juneteenth is a Republican holiday honoring Republicans. What happened on Juneteenth, I think it was 65. It might have been 66, but I think it was 65. I don't remember exactly. I didn't learn about Juneteenth when I was in school. This is a new holiday, you know what I mean? But what Juneteenth is what it recognizes and what it's celebrating is a very good thing. Republican Union soldiers, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Union soldiers, Republican soldiers, finally marched through Texas at the end of the Civil War. And it's the moment when the last slaves that were being held by Democrats in Texas 2 years after the proclamation was given by President Lincoln, that they were free. So it's a Republican holiday celebrating a Republican event. And telling the last slaves held by Democrats, Republican soldiers, saying, you're free. You were freed by the Republican president. I don't think Biden was thinking that clearly when he signed that into a federal holiday.
I don't think he's thinking much at all, but this is what we have. Huh?
No, but it's definitely a Republican holiday, and I support Juneteenth. Yeah, it's not being taught properly like I'm sharing with you.
I know, I didn't think of it that way, but I said, you know, if you want to celebrate that all the slaves are finally free, that's a good idea. I don't mind that. But now that you mentioned that it's Republican Party, it's really much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Now, I did see in the news, it seems Juneteenth isn't that, in the eyes of many, it seems like a time to attack white people, because I saw a lot of video and still footage at Juneteenth celebrations around the country of black youth attacking white people. You may have seen some of that yourself over the weekend, but that's what Juneteenth, it's a Republican holiday. Remembering a day when Republican Union Army soldiers told the final slaves being held by Democrats in Texas that there was no more slavery and they were free. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable. I really would like to have the meeting. Nothing changed, but I really would like to have them not talk only about what these fringe groups want to talk about.
Yeah, they should have me as part of the curriculum committee. Developing the lesson plans on how to teach Juneteenth properly in the textbooks of American schools, because I think I have a pretty good perspective of what that day remembers and celebrates.
They'll never want to talk about it if it's Republican, that's for sure.
Well, it might be a way to. Yeah, I know. All right, Conservative Doug, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda.
I'm a skeptic. I think the only reason the holiday came about was because a number of us, I guess, who, on Facebook and those, we were listening as the son of the president throw around the N-word very casually. And I think that being out there wasn't good, and I think Biden did this, I'm sorry, as a ploy or the administration.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to Macy Gray, that pothead. I remember when she was making certain music, or when she was performing. I don't know about you, Brian, but I don't take too kindly to people who are so stoned on drugs that I don't care what song they're singing, even if you like the song, it's a big turnoff. I just didn't. She was one of them. I just don't like people who are so overwhelmed with their drug addiction that when they do a song delivery, to me.
Well, I don't know too much about Macy Gray. I mean, I know who she is, and I'm sure that I've heard her sing before, but I can't name one of her songs. I'm sure if I heard like her hit or something, I'd say, "Oh yeah, I know that song," and I'm sure it's all right. But here's the thing about Macy Gray. I think it's safe to say that she's a has-been, right? Okay, so she's definitely a has-been. So now she's got everyone talking, just like Richard Marxist. When he made those comments about Rand Paul, all of a sudden he was interviewed on national TV shows. He hasn't been on TV since the 80s.
Yeah, I was so shocked by it. Some of his music I actually like, but you know what? After he did that, I said, "What an awful human being."
Mm-hmm.
But I never bought a record, and if I hear him now, I'll just turn him off.
Richard Marx? You'd probably turn him off anyway before this. I mean, who cares about Richard Marx? And all of a sudden he was on, I think it was Stephen Colbert. He hasn't been on national television, Richard Marx, since like 88, and Macy Gray is a similar thing, Now all of a sudden she's a a has-been who's being talked about by everyone. That's what so much of this stuff is about. Yeah.
That thing you had with Tucker Carlson was very interesting because I can see Tucker Carlson playing that role. I can see him playing a duplicitous role, but it's true. He is the type of person, when you listen at it, he sounds credible because he really doesn't take sides.
Yeah.
He really does. So I can see him playing that role that I think someone was talking about from the Huffington Post.
Mm-hmm.
To see him doing that.
It is definitely possible. All right, Yolanda, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour of the program. It is Monday. We're back live. It's June 21st. We were off Friday. We are back live. Steve will be joining us in just a bit. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Any lab tests now of Boca offer more than just lab work. They also have B12 injections available. B12 injections promote weight loss, increase energy, reduce stress, promote healthy skin, improve sleep, increase metabolism, fight heart disease, improve memory, and improve mood. B12 injections at any lab test now of Boca Raton, like their lab test, are priced low. 5 injections for just $69. Other places in town charge $349 for 3 injections, so that is a huge savings. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. I'm not sure we have him ready. We'll find out. Steve, you with us? Okay, I guess that's a no. He's not ready yet. Okay, let me know when he's ready. Okay, Before I want to do some recaps on the stories I brought up at 6, because I hit on some pretty hot stories that need to be recapped because we got to make sure everyone in South Florida hears them. But before I get into the new stuff, or before I get into the recap, let me get into one more new thing here before I recap what I brought up earlier. And this fits into the Juneteenth. You know, there's a lot of talk about systemic racism from the Democrats, right? Where is their discrimination? Where is their systemic racism? Where is their racism? You always will find it in liberal circles. There's a Democrat member of the Senate, Sheldon Whitehouse. He is the senator from Rhode Island, okay? And, yeah, he's a Democrat. And he is, well, he's involved in one of the most racist things I didn't think existed anymore in our society. And Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is, well, he's a member of a racially segregated club with only white members. And he was, I know, it's hard to believe, in 2021, this Democrat senator. So he was actually at an event, and a citizen reporter went up to him and asked him about this. Listen, this is Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
2017, you had expressed concerns about the membership of the all-white Bailey's Beach Club, said that you hoped it would become more diverse. Now, your family's been members, your wife is one of the largest shareholders. Has there been any traction in that? Are there any minority members of the club now?
I think the people who are running the place are still working on that.
Okay, so that means no. There were no minority members of his all-white club. No blacks, no Hispanics, no Asians, no Eskimos. Just white people.
2017, you had expressed concerns about the membership of the all-white Bailey's Beach Club, said that you hoped it would become more diverse. Now, your family's been members, your wife is one of the largest shareholders. Has there been any traction in that? Are there any minority members of the club now?
I think the people who are running the place are still working on that, and I'm sorry it hasn't happened yet.
Do you have concerns in 2021? I mean, obviously, it's been 4 years. You had remarks on the floor following the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd saying, you know, hoping to root out systemic racism in the country. Your thoughts on an elite, all-white, wealthy club, again, in this day and age, you know, should these clubs continue to exist?
It's a long tradition in Rhode Island, and there are many of them. And I think we just need to work our way through the issues.
Oh, okay. Racial segregation in our clubs is a tradition in Rhode Island. Oh, okay. Sheldon Whitehouse. Okay. Oh, okay. Nothing to see. Oh, it's a tradition. Well, that makes it okay. You know, these stories that came, I know, what a piece of work. You know, these stories that came out last week about the ratings of CNN. CNN's ratings have tanked on some shows 80%. That's amazing. That's amazing. And there are days that we have more listeners to the Steve Kane Show than CNN has viewers. You know, we're just a local radio show. We have more listeners than they have viewers on some days. CNN. This is CNN. Brian Stelter, his ratings are down, did they say 80%? You know? And there's a lot of discussion as to why. The main reason why is their liberal bias. You know, this story on Sheldon Whitehouse is disgusting. He's a sitting United States senator. But because he's a Democrat, some citizen reporter with an iPhone or something caught him on the spot there. They won't run this on CNN. If this were a Republican, if this were Ted Cruz or any Republican, even little Marco, okay, the media would be camped out at their home and their office. They wouldn't be able to travel down the hallway or to their car without reporters coming up and asking them if they're going to condemn and distance themselves and tear up their membership card to this racially segregated club they're a member of. But because he's a Democrat, media silence. That's why CNN is failing. They don't want to report the real stories. They don't want to report the truth. All right, let me see. Steve, you with us? Oh, man, all kinds of craziness going on today. Fell asleep. Yeah, I can. Well, you know what? I almost did myself. I was hypnotized. Remember, Well, remember Mark Scheinbaum? There was the most boring, no talent ever on the talk radio airwaves of America. Mark Scheinbaum. Yeah. Mark Scheinbaum had an ability that some have had in the past, like Kreskin. He could hypnotize people, and Mark Scheinbaum would hypnotize people who were listening where they were not able to turn the radio dial. In fact, Al Rantel was on I-95 driving somewhere. He went like 4 exits past his exit because he was listening to Mark Scheinbaum. So we started calling it Markolepsy, and this even Doug has brought back Markolepsy, Dougalepsy, I guess we'll call it.
Well, Markolepsy or whatever it is, Dougalepsy, is okay in small doses, like 2 minutes.
Well, when you're in a trance, what can you do? You know.
So how are you? You had a good weekend?
But it looks like we took Friday off, and the fake news and the GOP establishment tried to do a bunch of things that I've been exposing them for all day. But I'll recap some of this stuff in the next hour, and yeah.
It's me the most of the many things I was listening to. There is no question that something is on with Tucker's show. I can't quite put my finger on it. He's talking about the things that regular talk shows don't talk about. I mean, you gave a good example, a great one of that. Who's that? Frank Luntz.
Oh, that was a huge story. Yeah.
You close your eyes and try to visualize any of the other programs or hosts that are around today tackling that on the air. It's hard to do. It's not the kind of show that anyone else would do.
No.
Let's break there are no rules, but there are certain guidelines, whatever it is, and every show, not every show, but frequently, a couple times a week, he'll have a show that you wouldn't hear anywhere else.
Well, he's the only one in cable news that is actually breaking news.
I view it as not an issue of Tucker. I view it as that Fox News has given him permission. I mean, I asked myself, well, let me ask you, since I have you here, do you think Tucker do you think he checks with anybody before he does a show like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I tend to think yes, and I think that Fox is giving him permission to go beyond the line. I don't know if it's a formal agreement or whether it's just a wink and a nod.
No, there's something going on his show. There's something going on over there. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's definitely something going on. Now, after the top of the hour, we'll take your calls on your thoughts on Tucker, but after the top of the hour, we're going to recap 2 stories I brought up in the first hour. They're pretty hot stories, big stories. This, the most irresponsible man to ever hold public office, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Dean Trentalis. We're going to talk about this. And by the way, Mayor Trentalis of Fort Lauderdale, we are going to keep a line open for the rest of the program. I'm sure, I got the line open. He's open. He can call in anytime and clear your name. But I want to recap that story after the break. And also this fake straw poll showing DeSantis beating Trump. We're going to recap that and expose that because everyone's running with that story on the straw poll and no one's telling you what really happened. Now we're coming up on the top of the hour. Our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Now we got to take a moment to talk about Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca Raton, who will never do. Yeah, Champagne Automotive Repair will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need, and they work on all makes and models, personal vehicles, high-end cars, sports cars, commercial vehicles, and this time, and they do everything, transmission work, all that stuff.
Good job for Tyler.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, it is hot as hell. I mean, I look at the temperature on my dashboard and 95 and above on my dashboard, and you know, your air conditioning in your car is life in South Florida. And if you're having AC problems in your car, do what Steve's doing with Tyler. Head over to Champagne Automotive Repair. Maybe you'll just need a simple repair. You know, when you go to these big name places, you guys know them, you can name them off. Well, what you're dealing with when you go in there, you're not dealing with a mechanic, you're dealing with a commissioned salesman. And his job is to get you to agree to as many repairs as your credit card will cover. And he gets his commission and they get paid and they're happy. And, you know, when Tyler had his car up there and had them look over it, they told him he needed $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the vehicle didn't need. We had Champagne Automotive look over the car, didn't give them the list until after they were done. And, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad, but it's that bad. And, you know, your car AC may not even be working to its complete peak efficiency, and it could. You don't want to drive around.
Tyler's car is working at about 50%.
Oh my gosh, that's like being in one of those torture chamber heat boxes in Vietnam.
Away with it for a while, but now that we're starting to get hot spells every day, you stop at
yeah. Oh, it's death.
So you might as well be in the middle of the Sahara.
I call that the heat. That's the heat. You basically have the heat on. And you may think your AC is working fine, but you know what? It may be able to work a little colder than it is. So listen, I'm going to give you the number, Champagne Automotive Repair. We have listeners that drive more than an hour each way because never doing a repair on your vehicle that it doesn't need, you're not going to find any other auto shop advertising that. And I know that a lot of you are taking our recommendation and going there because pretty much every time I'm at Champagne Automotive, I run into listeners. I'm going to give you the number. And you can talk to them over the phone. They'll also give you directions. 561-245-8101. If you miss this number, with all of our sponsors listed right there on the front page at SteveKaneShow.com. 561.
Day, probably run into time.
Oh, great. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Look for Steve today and tell him you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, we'll be back with the third and final hour of today's show after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers, and Mike Lindell, he's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy, and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome.
Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes
and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Soul Authority today, 954-597-7060.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
Yeah, K-A-N-E is the promo code, K-A-N-E.
With 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening
Hey, Gary.
to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right, third and final hour has begun. We're back live. We were off Friday. It's Monday, the 21st of June, 2021. We are back live, and we take one day off, and the liberals and the mainstream media try to pull a lot of crap over the weekend, but we're going to clarify it. I want to get into this thing that happened in Fort Lauderdale over the weekend, and this is a local story, but it's all over the nation, and this mayor of Fort Lauderdale is in all kinds of trouble. Now, I was flipping through cable news on Saturday night, and I don't know what got me to do this, but I flipped over to MSNBC, and they said, coming up, an update on a tragic story out of Wilton Manors, Florida. And I've never heard Wilton Manors mentioned in the national news, which is a part of Fort Lauderdale here in Broward County. So I hung around, and they said that there was an anti-gay hate crime committed by a homophobe who ran over 3, killing 1 members of the Gay Pride Parade. And they had video from far away, it was blurry, but you could see it, of the driver being walked to the police car by the police, handcuffs behind his back. And I knew right there the guy was gay because he had a Gay Pride t-shirt on. And a homophobe that's killing people because they're gay would not go undercover wearing a Gay Pride t-shirt because he's such a homophobe he wouldn't want people to think he was gay with the Pride shirt on. So I knew this stunk right away. And then they come back from the break on MSNBC and they play this clip of the mayor of Fort Lauderdale. This is Dean Trantalis, who's a longtime gay activist here in South Florida and is the current mayor of Fort Lauderdale. They come back with this.
What we witnessed was as we were beginning to assemble the parade, I was walking with Congressman Ted Deutsch, and the parade had just begun. And we saw people lining up, ready to move, and all of a sudden this white pickup truck dashed right through the crowd, barely missing Congresswoman Wasserman-Schultz's car by inches, and just dashed, cut through, smashed through a gate, smashed into a landscaping company, and he hit 2 people on the ground.
What does this appear?
This was a terrorist attack against the LGBT community. This is exactly what it is.
You don't think this was an accident?
Hardly an accident. It was deliberate. It was premeditated, and it was targeted against a specific person. Luckily, they missed that person, but unfortunately, they hit 2 other people, which I think they'll be okay. I don't know. They're laying on the ground right now. We're hoping that they'll survive.
Okay, so he said 2 things. It was a premeditated hate crime against gays, and he's also implying that the target was also Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Both were immediately debunked moments after this story went national. But the thing I told you, I saw the guy in the Gay Pride shirt, and they showed his truck, which had a full-size rainbow flag flying in the bed. Again, sign it's not a homophobe. And then I went to Twitter. So I'm like, what's going on? Let me find out what's going on here on Twitter. And shocking, Jim DeFeedy, who's a morbidly obese liberal reporter. He was with the Miami Herald for a long time. Defeed me. Jim defeed me. But Jim DeFeedy, he is morbidly obese, but he's with one of the TV stations in Miami now. I can't remember which one. I think it's the CBS station, but if somebody knows, let me know. But I go on Twitter, and Jim DeFeedy tweeted almost immediately, my sources are telling me this was an accident, that the driver's foot got stuck between the brake and the gas. Then you got Dean Trantalis, the Fort Lauderdale mayor, saying, he wants this to be the next Pulse nightclub. And now we know not only was it a complete tragic accident, one person was killed, 2 others were hit. Hopefully they'll be fine in the long run. We don't know. The victims of the accident were members of the Gay Men's Choir, as was the driver of the vehicle. And immediately on Saturday night, not only did Jim DeFeedme, who's a credible and liberal reporter, let people know that this was an accident. He said what happened. That the head, the leader of the Gay Men's Choir, came out right away and said that the driver was a member of the Gay Men's Choir, that it was an accident. And you still got Dean Trantalis out here. Yesterday, he released a statement to Fox News. He did not retract his statement. He did not apologize for his statement. He said he felt terrorized because he was close to where it happened. You know, what a jerk. Well, I can understand it being upset. If you see the footage, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was shook up. I understand that because it was scary.
Yeah, but the next day, after you found out that
what really happened,
that it wasn't an attack at all.
It was a tragic accident. In fact, the guy that was driving the truck was supposed to be leading Mayor D. And by the way, Mayor Trantalis, we have an open line. We're here till 9 a.m. You're welcome to call in and, explain yourself. But here's the thing with the Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trantalis. He's a longtime gay activist. He's an older guy. He is living in a world where everybody hates gays. He doesn't want to accept, like Black Lives Matter with their, systemic racism thing. He doesn't want to accept that no one cares about who's gay anymore. No one cares about that. The gays have won all the gay rights issues. That doesn't mean that everybody approves of it, but they're no longer a disenfranchised, discriminated group of people. Everything's fine with the gays now, but he wanted this to be another Pulse nightclub. And if he would have waited 60 seconds, if he would have talked to one of his officers, they would have, the captain that was there, the Fort Lauderdale chief, they would have told him everybody I've heard from.
It wouldn't have mattered because when he found out and he knew the truth, he still distributed the misinformation.
Yeah, and
it wouldn't have helped him.
Yeah, and he still won't walk it back. Well, I felt terror. I can understand the trauma. That was pretty scary. Okay, I understand that. It was a deadly accident, but an accident indeed. And he's a disgrace, and he's really being called out on it. But I don't, he's a Democrat, total immunity. He can go on and continue with this. And he, see, this is the same thing that's going on with the black activist. They don't want to admit that the racism is no longer a problem in our country. They want to live in the past, 100 years ago, when there was segregation and everything still. Same thing with the Dean Trantalis, the Fort Lauderdale mayor. He wants to live in a past where everyone's disapproving of his lifestyle. No one cares that you're gay, mayor. No one cares that anyone's gay anymore. You've won all the issues. I'm sorry. It's like they want to be victims, is what it is. Liberal minority groups want to be victims, and they never want it to end. And he didn't even seem embarrassed by his statement. Well, I felt terrorized. Oh, okay. So what he's trying to say is his statement was accurate, because he felt terrorized. That means it was terrorism. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. But we'll let you call in, Mayor Trantalis, and explain yourself. No, yeah, sure. Doesn't he want to apologize to the people he.
Sound like it to me.
Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts out there in the listening audience, because this is a local story. Those of you in Fort Lauderdale, if this was, a anti-gay hate crime, I'd be upset about it too, and I would certainly not approve nor stand for that. But this was not. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's KANE and the number 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Let's take a call or two. Then we'll get into some other things. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
South Florida. How you guys doing?
All right, Al.
Good.
Great. Yeah. When I heard this story, I heard about it on Twitter. I got home from work and I wasn't, watching the news. But another thing that kind of pissed me off about it, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, people were out there blaming Ron DeSantis for this nonsense. As far as, remember that thing that he passed with first of all, this thing was, regardless of what happened, it was an accident. but there was no protest. It wasn't protesting or anything. It was a parade or whatever, gay pride.
Well, it's Gay Pride Month, so they have their festival over there in Wilton Manors, which is a gay city, a gay town.
But the thing is, people are blaming him. That thing that he passed for when people like riot, and I guess when there's like somebody's going on your car, and you're trying to, your life's on the line, something like that. Didn't he pass something in Florida where you have a right to do something with your car? I guess, or I forgot something that he passed. People.
Well, I guess he passed. He signed a law, Ron DeSantis, where you're allowed to protect yourself if Antifa come down your neighborhood street and do things. Yeah.
Twitter, I think there might have been something even trending with him, and with this false news out there that what they were saying happened. There were some people were out there saying Ron DeSantis.
Well, what'll end up happening with these people? Okay, now they'll say, okay, this was not a hate crime, but it represents what the LGBT community is facing around the country, or something. They'll come up with some excuse. They'll say that it wasn't wrong. And did you see the video of Debbie Wasserman Schultz in her parade car? Did you see any of this, Steve, in the news? Oh, what about you, Al? Did you see the video of Debbie Wasserman Schultz traumatized in her parade car?
I think like a little thing on Twitter, but not the whole. If it was a long.
Yeah, she was on the phone, probably with her family, telling them she's okay, because she was right where this happened. She was in her parade car, being paraded around, in the gay parade. And she looked really shook up, which I can understand. She had 3 or 4 ladies by her car that had T-shirts on that said Team DWS or something, And the news caught Debbie traumatized, and Debbie's people, Team Debbie, started using hand motions to shoo the media away. And then these ladies surrounded the car that Debbie was in to block the TV cameras from filming Debbie after the event. It was so pathetic and strange at the same time.
To be honest with you, not that I wish that anything would happen with her, but I can't stand that lady. I don't know what you...
Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
I don't know him personally. What's that guy that I think he's been on the phone with me before, that guy, I think he does he goes to Israel sometimes,
Tom Trento?
Yeah, I've seen a video before when... This was obviously a few years back when Ron DeSantis was running against whatever his name, now I forgot his name. But he had videos out on Facebook with this other guy who I have on Facebook. I've got his name, who lives in Israel with glasses. He used to call her Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Well, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has the long. This is what the deal is, okay? She's got a couple of these retirement communities with retired New Yorkers, high percentage of them Jews. And they'll vote with anybody with a D next to their name, right? And basically that's how she's got a couple of these big, retirement communities in her district, and and that's how she gets elected and reelected. But her name, she has the longest name in Congress, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Why do you think she has the longest name in Congress, caller? What kind of name when you think of Schultz, what do you think?
Still like 17.
German. Sergeant Schultz, even in Hogan's Heroes, still like that. So she keeps the Wasserman hyphen. I mean, if she were in the military and her name was on her uniform, it would go into her armpit. It's so long, right? She does Wasserman that has like 80 letters in it, hyphen Schultz, so people don't think she's German, so they know that she's Jewish. That's why she does it. It's
I don't know how true this is. I've heard some people tell me that
I don't know. I think I kept you on a beat too long. I don't think you had much at the first beat of that call. But Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I'll tell you this though. Looking at how I've been in accidents and it's traumatizing, okay? But looking at how traumatized she was, Steve, she could not handle the stress of a higher office. She couldn't be in charge of anything. She was in a hysterical breakdown. If you see this footage of her in the car after the event, oh my goodness. I mean, she was not, Trentalis was wrong. Dean Trentalis, Mayor of Fort Lauderdale, was wrong, but at least he wasn't up there having a breakdown. You know what I mean? He was still, she like had her hands on her head. She looked like she was crying. She's on the phone with her husband or her kids, I don't know who. And God help us if she were like, in Kamala's position. She kind of, it was probably,
I'll take Debbie over Kamala.
You didn't see her after the event. Debbie she can't handle.
Can you imagine what Kamala would? Well, you may not have to imagine it. You may get to experience it.
Yeah. Debbie Wasserman Schultz cannot handle stress. She is not a leader. She had a complete emotional breakdown. When she was the highest ranking official there, she could have been taking charge. In fact, Steve, she had such a breakdown. Dee Trentalis is in front of the cameras, not Debbie. She couldn't even talk to the press. She was having such an emotion. And for someone like that, not to be able to talk to the... I know, that's how bad she was. All right, listen, we'll take our break. And when we come back, there's some other fake news I want to share with you guys. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget.
Jacqueline, $10 super sticker. Thank you. Everyone thank Jacqueline. Thank you.
Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. The Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go. Leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for 9 nights cruising the Caribbean. We will stop in Grand Cayman Island, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Reserve your cabin right now and call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the BioStation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained and experienced in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic surgeon available for the big jobs. We can now make you look good to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the BioStation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%. That's 20% off all cosmetic services leading up to the Steve Kane cruise.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Oh man, so we're going to have some good-looking, young-looking people on our cruise, Steve, because of that huge discount that Dr. Matez is offering on cosmetic procedures for our cruisers. All right, well, yeah, welcome back, everyone. 22 minutes. Oh, that's for sure. 22 minutes after the hour. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
This is Linda in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Good morning. Debbie Wasserman Schultz never met a microphone she didn't like.
Well, Saturday, that was not the case.
No, that was not. I will give her credit. She has done a lot to protect the manatees and tried to keep our waters clean.
Really? You mean we had dirty waters and the manatees were in danger before Debbie Wasserman Schultz? I've been hearing about slow for manatees my entire life in Florida.
Well, I saw her at the Oceanographic at a lecture, and she...
oh, good for her. She did do one thing. Debbie Wasserman Schultz did one thing that has saved many lives, and this is not a joke, and I'm serious as a heart attack with this. Okay? I think she was in the state legislature when she did this. She was part of the legislation. She actually led the effort making it the law to have pool fences around swimming pools in Florida. And because I want people to, and I'm not kidding, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she took the lead in that, and we would never be able to put a number on the number of children whose lives have been saved by her.
Television show
on that, yeah. That's how I remember it. We did a TV show with her on the...
At a truce.
Yeah, so what she did, she saved, so the swimming pool, there are a lot of kids who obviously, we have a lot of swimming pools in Florida, kids, but that fence law that she's responsible for, she was the sponsor of it, she was behind it, she made it an issue. She saved a lot of kids' lives with that. So I'll give Debbie Wasserman Schultz that. But did you see her on Saturday? She had a breakdown.
Yeah, she was petrified.
Is that leadership quality?
Well, she is a cancer survivor, so...
What are you, from her fan club? Do you work for her?
Oh, no, definitely not. Oh, no.
Steve's a cancer survivor. Steve had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Right? So that makes Steve a cancer survivor. A lot of people have survived it.
Mm-hmm. But she has been very motivated, so I guess she is feeling fine, and I give her a little credit for at her work, you know. And we admire you too, Steve.
Yeah, because you're a cancer survivor, Steve. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Come on. Now, what do you think about your mayor in Fort Lauderdale?
I'm very disappointed. Yeah.
You know, I love Fort Lauderdale. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. My mother lives in Fort Lauderdale. I went to high school in Fort Lauderdale. I grew up on the beach there. It has the best beach in Florida is Fort Lauderdale Beach. But I don't like this mayor. And not just because of what he did over the weekend. What he was really doing, he was, stirring up hate against Christians, because who else would do such a horrific homophobic attack? But during the pandemic, I saw a local news story where he was walking down Las Olas Boulevard, business to business, with code enforcement officers harassing businesses and shutting them down. And he was doing that on a regular basis. But during the COVID pandemic, he was trying to shut down everything like Newsom and Cuomo, and I didn't respect that at all. I thought that was, a mayor is supposed to be pro-business.
You bring up an interesting point. I'm getting a very uncomfortable feeling as it comes under the heading of Steve Kane Wild Predictions. I have a feeling we're not finished with this. And the reason I do it is when you think about what was from the time that Biden took office, what was probably the primary thing that led to his...
We're talking about COVID. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And they had such success with that in the last election. I find it hard to believe they're not going to try to do.
Well, they're running into a problem. They didn't think that the coronavirus was going to go away so soon, and the reason they had such a disaster in the last couple of weeks with Biden is because they thought they could keep him locked down in the White House due to COVID restrictions, and the restrictions are up now, and he's forced to be public, and it's a disaster for them, like happened in G7 last week. So you're yeah.
As you watch the national news on
the new variants,
once they get a name for it, a tag for it,
yeah,
they're going to do it. It's just going to be. If you stop and you think about it, once you've closed down the schools, that's the biggie. And of course, they own the teachers union. Cooperate with reopening the schools. And if they get a couple areas in the blue end of the country that have to have...
yeah. Well, with the new variants, and there's a lot of people. I see people all over the place that just don't want to let it go. They won't let the masks off. They're still walking around everywhere with a mask. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's go back to our phones. We'll take a call or two before our bottom of the hour break. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Mike. What's up?
Not much. Sorry. Yeah, the mayor. What a bonehead he is. I mean, there's a lot of people right now in Florida. Like, we're oversaturated with visitors and.
Well, the problem. Okay, this is the deal with Dean Trentalis. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I know who he is because he's been a gay activist for a long time before he was mayor, and he's an older guy. And he was a pretty effective gay activist. You know, the gay activist movement was pretty powerful in Broward County, and he was a big part of that, okay? But he's an older guy, and his activist days are during the days of D. James Kennedy, who was going against... Yeah, and he was going up against D. James Kennedy. And his outlook on... He's like Joe Biden. Joe Biden is like the Austin Powers of presidents. He's a man from another time. He calls climate change global warming. He says inappropriate things because he's a man out of time. Dean Trentalis is living back in the early 90s when D. James Kennedy and him were going at it. And he just can't accept the fact that no one hates gays anymore like that. That the gays have won everything and that the gay rights battle is over. He still wants to live back in an era where he's fighting the fight. He's out of date.
It never bothers me. It never will. It is what it is.
Well, it's just like we're getting from the black activist with critical race theory and systemic racism. They don't want to accept that it's over now. I mean, look, Steve and I both have interracial families. Almost every couple I see is interracial these days, whether it's white and Hispanic or Asian and black or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You know, and they don't want to accept that racism is over.
He keeps bringing up the commercial. That's hilarious. Every time he starts talking, I have like a bag of
yeah.
Up the commercials. I'm like, come on with the song.
Well, that's how out of time Biden is. You know.
I happened to be there a week before this happened.
Where you were at the Gay Pride Parade? I didn't know you were gay.
No, I was in the area.
Oh, Wilton Manors.
Yeah, you
don't have to be gay to be in the Gay Pride Parade. Do you remember when I was in the Gay Pride Parade?
I'm sure you were, and so was what's his face, Roger Jones.
I'm asking Brian. Do you remember?
I was never in the Gay Pride Parade with you.
You were with me, but you would remember it. Me,
Anyways,
Rick Seidemann, and who else?
Oh, is that when you guys wore the... Oh, is that when you went in drag? Yeah, and the ladies' lingerie. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. You didn't get me to do that. Yeah.
I wore ladies' lingerie.
What were you doing over in Wilton Manors, Mike?
I had to get my windshield replaced at 5th.
Oh, okay. And you had to go to you're in Boca. You had to go all the way from Boca to the gay town to get your windshield?
Yeah, I had the choice.
Highly suspicious.
No.
Uh-oh. It gets better. And they're very nice, and they go, oh, hi, so-and-so, and then I'll take you on the phone, and they go, Elizabeth will be taking care of your car. I said, okay, that's great. And I said to myself, oh my God. I just realized I'm like...
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Elizabeth comes out. Elizabeth is a nice-looking 49-year-old man.
See, now the truth's coming out. So you drove to Boca to the gay town of Wilton Manors to have the windshield replaced, and a very good-looking man came towards you. This is getting interesting. I was going to break, but we'll go a little long here. Continue.
His name was Elizabeth. He was a good-looking guy, and...
You got his name. Did you get his number?
No, I did not.
I wouldn't give it to you.
He liked my shirt, though. I had a Sandra shirt.
He wouldn't give you his number, but he liked your shirt.
Liked my shirt, and we talked a little bit, and I told him it was my birthday. He wished me happy birthday. He said he was right behind me at 49, and
wow.
He did a great job. He did a great job on my car, and I gave him high remarks.
Have you been back to Wilton Manors since?
No.
Oh, okay.
Busy.
Oh, okay. It's not that you haven't wanted to get back to Wilton Manors. You've just been, oh, my goodness. All right. Hey, Mike, great call. Thanks so much. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Been a long time since we had someone come out on the Steve Kane Show. All right. I just got word from Tom Laporta, from Laporta Contracting, and he sent me a text message. You got to tell Tyler and everyone else in your family to clear the driveway of cars. Your tiles for the roof are arriving shortly. So during the break, tell them to move the cars. All right? Move the cars. All right, listen, we'll take our break. It is 33 minutes after the hour. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll break and be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now of Boca?
Boca Raton, yeah, in the Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It really was. It was cool, and it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget this 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now of Boca Raton.
There you go. Doctor recommended. Yeah,
No,
really
Mike's got a
cool,
sense of
and it
humor.
was wonderful, and it was
Mike's
easy.
cool.
Listen to that,
I know Mike.
Go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca.
You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel
Steve Kane Show.
With 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Steve Kane Show.
From Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables.
Hold on.
Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, I got a couple stories here. We got to recap because they're good ones. This one's a quick one. I discovered from a Democrat United States Senator, Sheldon Whitehouse, that racial segregation still exists in country clubs because he's a member of a club that has no minority members. And he's the Democrat senator from Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse. You know, he's on TV all the time making judgments against Trump and others. And he was at an event somewhere or other, and a citizen reporter, looked like with a cell phone or something, went up and asked him about this. Here's the exchange. This is Democrat United States Senator from the great state of Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse. Listen to this.
In 2017, you had expressed concerns about the membership of the all-white Bailey's Beach Club, said that you hoped it would become more diverse. Now, your family's been members, your wife is one of the largest shareholders. Has there been any traction in that? Are there any minority members of the club now?
I think the people who are running the place are still working on that.
Okay, that means no. He's a member. That means no. There are no blacks, no Hispanics, no Asians, no Eskimos. No. Okay, but it gets worse, Steve. And of course, his wife is one of the largest shareholders, so she's running this racist establishment that he's a... Now, keep in mind, this is a Democrat senator, Sheldon Whitehouse, but it gets worse. Listen.
2017, you had expressed concerns about the membership of the all-white Bailey's Beach Club, said that you hoped it would become more diverse. Now, your family's been members, your wife is one of the largest shareholders. Has there been any traction in that? Are there any minority members of the club now?
I think the people who are running the place are still working on that, and I'm sorry it hasn't happened yet.
Do you have concerns in 2021? I mean, obviously it's been 4 years. You had remarks on the floor following the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd saying, hoping to root out systemic racism in the country. Your thoughts on an elite, all-white, wealthy club, again, in this day and age, should these clubs continue to exist?
It's a long tradition in Rhode Island, and there are many of them.
So is slavery.
Work our way through the issues.
Okay, so yeah, racial segregation is a long tradition in Rhode Island, so it's okay. Oh my goodness, what a jerk! What an idiot! My goodness, if he were a Republican, he'd be done.
Wasn't embarrassed.
No, well, no, he's not embarrassed. That's systemic racism. Where's BLM? Where's? No, I mean, he didn't even have he wasn't even...
And they didn't flinch.
The last time I saw a Democrat senator so psychotic is when that one Senator Menendez was up on the bribery trial charges and he was being asked, and he was just as cool as that, I mean, I've never seen... Could you imagine if a Republican senator was a member of a club that didn't have one single minority as a member? Oh my goodness, it'd be over for him. Okay, now this other thing here, I know I brought this up earlier in the show, but this is a very important story, and some of these things have to be reviewed. We have to make sure they get everybody hears them, because the mainstream media are lying to you. And I'm going to read a couple paragraphs of this story that tell us what really happened, because I knew this was bogus, this story about the straw poll. There was a story over the weekend, all the media ran with it. There was a straw poll done at the conservative Western Summit, and DeSantis beat out Trump in the straw poll, meaning that Republicans want DeSantis more than Trump. I knew that was crap. So, well, I went through, Steve, I must have gone through 15 or 20 articles before I found out how the poll was done. And I finally found one in Newsweek. So let me read to you what Newsweek reported about this straw poll that showed, well, it's not even, it's worse than that. So you've seen the headline, DeSantis edges out Trump in a conservative straw poll, and I even saw Twitter was blowing up about this. These fake never Trumpers were like, well, a lot of Republicans want Trump to step aside for DeSantis. No, they don't. Listen to this. Newsweek. And let me read. It's 3 paragraphs and it explains it all. Newsweek. I did tweet this. You guys can read it yourself. Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis won over former President Donald Trump in a straw poll for 2024 presidential candidates conducted by the Western Conservative Summit, the poll's organizer reported Saturday. DeSantis led the poll with 74% of voters saying they approved of him as a presidential candidate, ahead of Trump's 71%. The poll was held online using the approval voting method, where voters selected multiple responses to each question. Voters were allowed to make more than one choice, and the percentages of the poll were greater than 100, so you could vote multiple times. They had a handful of people, a couple hundred people. They got one never Trumper. That's all they need is DeSantis, over and over again, and boom, DeSantis edges out. And this was crafted very sophisticated, in a very sophisticated way. They wanted to give it credibility, so they didn't have DeSantis like way ahead by like 20 points. It's just a couple of points, so it's within the realm of believability. This story is a lie, it's fake news, and shame on everyone over the weekend, including Fox, running with this story. I saw it on Fox. They didn't get to the details. They just had the... It was hard to find how they did the poll, Steve. I had to spend at least 3 minutes going through 15 stories to find out how they conducted the poll.
shocked, but not.
Well, like I said, if we only talked about what shocked us, we would, we'd have no show.
They had a bunch of people that they were going to, second-tier people that they were going to put in and try to find an upset win somewhere, and they had no luck whatsoever. So I guess was the next best thing. Do a phony poll, and get the story in the paper, and try to create the impression that Republicans are not firmly behind Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
Very important. At the beginning of every week, I like to. Is Trump doing anything over the weekend?
I don't know what he's. Not that I know of. I know this coming up. He's going to be going. He's got a rally coming up in about a week in Cleveland, and no, 26th. It's Saturday. This, but it's only Monday, so we got the week. Also, this straw poll story is about trying to divide DeSantis and Trump, to make Trump feel threatened by DeSantis. Trump is smart enough to know believe me, he knows what he knows what they did here. Now, there was a poll done that was a scientific poll, and it was done by the Sun Sentinel newspaper here in South Florida, and they asked a simple question, a nonpartisan question: who has the best wings in South Florida? And who won by far? Wings Plus, the Sample Road location. Yeah, that's right. And I didn't need a poll to tell me that, because I've been eating there for years. Best ever. Oh, yeah. Now, everything at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location, is homemade right there on the spot. The soups, the sauces for the wings, the chili, everything is homemade right there. Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, you are not going to find a more openly conservative restaurant anywhere on this planet. If Trump opened up a restaurant, it wouldn't be this. In fact, I was over there with a friend of mine once, and he was amazed. He says, I've never seen, they got that Blue Lives Matter stuff around, MAGA. He's like, I've never seen a business owner who's so out about their conservatism. Well, that's right. That's right. And the Trumps have even eaten wings from Wings Plus. So the Sample Road location of Wings Plus is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. When you stop in, tell Brian, he's the owner, not me, Brian Walsh, he's the owner over there. Tell him you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, we'll take our break and come back with the first gold report of the week after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per...
I have to go to the men's room, but I don't have time. I have to wait till after the show, so... Hey there.
At Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
At noon weekdays, turn your radio to Richard Pearl on Politics. Unfiltered, unapologetic, always controversial. Richard Pearl tells it like it is. No topic is off limits. This is talk radio like it should be. You've known him as a master of nutraceuticals. Now, listen to Richard Pearl as you've never heard him before. Richard Pearl on Politics. High noon weekdays on this radio station. Be there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
Yeah, I might have to end the show a little early.
Now, the moment we all wait for each day on the Steve Kane Show, the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, one of the leading experts, in fact, I would say probably the top expert in the matters of the precious metals anywhere in the world. And we are so blessed to have William every day here to give us the report telling how gold fared over the weekend and what's it looking like this morning at the opening. William, how's it going?
Steve, we got a little bit of a recovery going so far this morning after last week's big drop, taking gold all the way down to close on the lows actually on Friday at $1,763.80. That was down $10.20. As lots of our Steve Kane listeners took advantage of the dip, as we've been telling people to do. Silver was down 14 cents, $25.76 on the close. Platinum closed down $26 at $1,030, and palladium was down $13 at $2,400. This morning we got gold up $11.20 right now at $1,775 down so far. High this morning is $1,785. Silver up 9 cents at $25.85. Platinum unchanged at $1,030, and palladium is up $34 at $2,434 the ounce. The U.S. dollar is a little bit lower this morning. Oil just under $72 a barrel, and Bitcoin continues to drop down to $32,000. And that's pretty much where we're starting off the week. We'll see how we do with this 1763 or 1760 area range for gold. It should hold probably around there. Selling probably is going to be a lot less than it was. We're probably in an oversold condition right now, and I think you'll see this buying opportunity won't last very long, so take advantage of it.
And we should also mention, William, that you are in the market to purchase precious metals as well as sell them. Tell them a little bit about how that works.
Certainly, for over 50 years, we've made a good two-way market in all of the precious metals, regardless of the form they're in, whether it's scrap or jewelry that you're not wearing anymore, old watches or silver sets. You can bring them in for cash offers right on the spot. And we also have all the products and all of the precious metals and rare coins in stock for immediate delivery.
All right.
That's right.
Pleasure. We'll speak to you soon, all right?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, now the slanders of Tucker Carlson continue. You know, Tucker Carlson has broke two massive stories, right? A couple weeks ago that Kevin McCarthy was living with liberal pollster Frank Luntz in the Luntz mansion, party mansion. And then last week, what he was reported about the Capitol breach and the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys. And found two stories today out there attacking Tucker. Here's a new one. This is Tucker. This is in the Daily Mail, but it's being reported elsewhere. Tucker Carlson. This is the story. I'm not saying this is fact. Okay. Tucker Carlson declined to speak to Donald Trump after his disastrous debate against Joe Biden, according to a new book exploring Trump's election. The Fox News host, when he finally did speak to the then president, told President Trump his debate performance on September 29th, when he constantly interrupted Joe Biden, had been poor. Everyone says I did a good job, Trump told Carlson, according to a forthcoming book by Wall Street Journal reporter Michael Bender. Carlson reportedly replied, quote, "I don't know who told you it was good. It was not good." The anecdote in the book was recounted in the New York Times by media reporter Ben Smith. Smith portrayed the 52-year-old Washington insider as, despite his criticism of elites and an infamous journalistic source of reliable gossip. Problem is, there were only two people in the conversation, Trump and Carlson, yet somehow the conversation leaked verbatim in a manner that portrayed Carlson in this light. It doesn't make sense. And they're saying that President Trump called Tucker, and Tucker refused the call, sent it to voicemail, and didn't take a call from the President of the United States. Don't believe any of these smears against Tucker Carlson. They're out to discredit him because he's doing all this reporting. And we're going to see... Yeah. And they're trying to turn us and Trump against him. You know, he's the only thing over there on... And it tells you that they've done all their Oppo research on him and they can't find any dirt. So now they're doing this.
God, if that's the worst they get, then they're going to get too far away.
Yeah, fake stories, fake news, fake fake verbatim conversations that no one witnessed, but they have transcripts. Give me a break. They didn't have such a good transcript of that Ukrainian call with Trump. Now they got this. This is Tucker Carlson is public enemy number one to the left because of what he's been reporting lately. And the Republican establishment are more pissed off at Tucker Carlson than anyone. And I'll tell you, I asked a caller about this earlier, and the person that hates Tucker Carlson the most, I believe, is Sean Hannity over jealousy, because he's making his show look irrelevant. I mean, you got Tucker doing all these huge breaking stories, and then you got Hannity, and Hannity's got to be jealous of this. So,
And all the attention is being flowered on.
Yeah.
And I can promise you, given his insecurities, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Jealous.
And his vanilla show.
Safe to say, yeah.
And I would not be surprised, I'm not saying this has happened, but it wouldn't surprise me if I found dirt on Tucker Carlson leaked by Hannity. I'm not saying Hannity's done that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Because he's got to be really burning over this. Because he thought when O'Reilly left, he was going to be the big kahuna over there, and now he's, second or third banana. I don't know. Did you catch the last Rush Limbaugh program on Friday?
No.
Nah, it was. Ugh. I listened to a few minutes.
I felt the whole way they handled the post passing of.
Yeah.
Which was in bad taste.
Strange.
Yeah, it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Really? Yeah. I know. And the way.
I mean, Rush was terrific, but I don't know what. It's hard to make sense out of what they were doing.
Well, like with many things, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew who he was and how important he was, and I understood it, but I didn't realize how important he was until after he was gone. I really didn't. This vacuum that's been created.
The way with a lot of things.
Yeah. I know. Well, listen, it's what it was. I thought it was a little creepy, and I really didn't appreciate. The guy, I don't know the name of the guy that did the last show. He seems like a good guy. I listened for the first half hour. And what I didn't appreciate was this suck-up to the new guys that are coming in. As opposed to Rush, they spent, what I was listening to, they got this whole racket going, this whole cell thing that this new show that the host, they were inspired by Rush. And they got this PR thing going on that they were raised by Rush and under Rush, and and it's come on, it was. I thought the final show, at least the portion I heard, was in bad taste that last day, and it was not so much a tribute to Rush, but a suck up PR of the new guys. I didn't appreciate it, and that's why I turned it off. Yeah. Now, at noon weekdays on our radio station, of course, you want to be tuned in to Richard Pearl on Politics with host Richard Pearl. Hey, Richard Pearl, good morning.
Well, it is a good morning, but I got to tell you that if anybody listens to my show regularly or they listen to me on your
Yeah. I know. We're in North Korea, Richard Pearl. I mean, it's unfortunate. Now, listen, we're almost out of time for today's show, but listen. At noon weekdays, Richard Pearl on Politics is on all of our radio stations, as well as iHeartRadio and the TuneIn app. Search by our station call letters WWNN. 2 W's, 2 N's. Don't miss Richard Pearl on Politics, noon to 1 weekdays. It's must-listen-to radio. His store, Simply Natural, is located in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip, east side of University, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9. And the number over there, 954-741-4045. Have a great show, Richard Pearl. I'll be tuned in, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, Steve, just enough time to say a quick goodbye.
Bye, folks. We will be back. Do not despair. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. On behalf of my technical director, Tyler Kane, my co-producer of the Steve Kane Show, which is...
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I got to run, not just to the men's room. I got to run to a meeting, too. So, men's room first, then the meeting. Before you go, make sure you like the video. Like the video. That helps a lot. And if you're not, please subscribe. And everyone, click that notification bell. I upload content here all the time. But don't go without liking the video.